Okay, good morning. Okay, so before we start the class, because today I'm here to give a 30-minute class for, especially for people who are suffering with severe pain due to any kind of autoimmune diseases. So, autoimmune diseases like, let's say, rheumatoid arthritis or multiple sclerosis. But before we start that, I just wanted to give some understanding about how autoimmune disease, pain, or symptoms can be reversed with the practice of Meipadam. Now, many of you know, and in case if you don't know, I would like to share with you that my own journey into Meipadam started when I was suffering with the symptoms of initial stages of multiple sclerosis, which is an autoimmune disease of central nervous system. So the brain and the nerves. Okay, so now there are, okay, first of all, allopathy's approach to autoimmune disease. Most of the times it happens that in allopathy, the disease gets a proper diagnosis only when it reaches an advanced stage. Okay, and even after that, since there is no way for them to find out the root cause, or I will talk about root cause, but then the allopathy does not understand, does not believe in this kind of root cause. Okay. So, what happens is in terms of autoimmune patients, by the time they start to get some solution through allopathy, they are already at an advanced stage and already suffering. Okay, their suffering has increased, the symptoms have increased, the pain has increased. Okay, now when it comes to the causes of autoimmune disease, the root causes of autoimmune disease, there are there is a lot of information regarding it is because of some kind of chronic infections, chronic viral infections, or bacterial infections. It can be because of a toxic overload in the body. It can be because of prolonged stress. So, or it can be genetic. Personally, in my journey of understanding about autoimmune diseases and talking to a lot of people with autoimmune illnesses, I found that the genetic factor actually is very less. Okay. And even the nutrition factor, not having proper nutrition, even all these, like, I would say, these superficial factors, they are not the real cause of autoimmune illness, because there are a lot of people out there who probably don't have good nutrition, who also lead stressful lives, who probably also have some chronic viral infections all the time in the body, but not everyone ends up getting an autoimmune disease, right? So, why do some people develop autoimmune disease? Now, let me just quickly explain to you what is an autoimmune disease. It's basically an illness where your immune system starts to attack your own body. So, the tissues of your own body. In case of, let's say, let's take an example. In case of multiple sclerosis, your immune system starts attacking your central nervous system. In case of rheumatoid arthritis, your immune system starts attacking its own tissues, and that's how the arthritic condition develops. Same we can say in case of something like psoriatic arthritis, again an autoimmune condition, right? So when this happens, that the body starts attacking itself, the body starts disintegrating. Okay, it's losing its density. It's basically disintegrating. It's falling apart slowly. Now, from my understanding of autoimmune disease and what I have studied, what my students themselves have shared with me with regards to their autoimmune illnesses, there is a pattern which is that there is a case of a prolonged trauma. Now, by prolonged trauma, I don't mean that someone is in a situation where they have gotten abused for a really long period of time in their lives. That is the case, many people who have to go through abuse for a really long time in their life do end up with autoimmune disease later on. Okay. But by trauma, I mean that even things like even the trauma that's not clearly visible, for example, constant disrespect uh, in the environment, from the environment. So basically, in the relationships, high levels of stress, maybe regarding survival, regarding financial survival, or just constant emotional stress for a really long period of time. Now, we call this, there is something called as PTSD. Okay, but in case of autoimmune diseases, this PTSD is becomes complex. So the example of PTSD would be when you have to go through some intense trauma at a point in your life. Maybe you have witnessed very high violence in whether it's happening to you or with someone else. That is that would be an example of PTSD. But in case of autoimmune diseases, the PTSD becomes complex, which means what? It gets prolonged. So there are multiple situations of trauma throughout the life. And now, how this affects the emotional body? Uh, it affects your breathing, first of all. Now, let me explain you with a simple example. Let's say you're watching a horror movie, okay? And it's a very scary horror movie. What do we tend to do? When there is really a scary scene, we tend to hold our breath, right? Or let's say if you have some memory where you got scolded really badly, maybe by your elders at home or in your school, by your teacher, what did we do at this time? We were holding the breath, right? It's like the breath stops. Now, in case of autoimmune disease, because of prolonged experience of trauma, we tend to develop this breathing pattern where we tend to hold breath, we tend to not breathe in properly, and obviously not breathe out properly, right? The breath becomes very irregular, very shallow. And actually, we all think that, okay, it's the brain that controls the body, that controls all the functions of the body, all the working of all the organs and the glands. But breath is what controls your brain. So your brain function also starts to deteriorate as your breath starts to get spoiled. You tend to hold breath because of, people disrespecting you, or just like a lot of stressful situation all the time throughout the life, right? So tend to hold breath, tend to not inhale properly, tend to not exhale properly, and this just adds to the cell degeneration, which continuously goes on in the body, right? Every 3 months, the cells in the body get destroyed, and we get new cells, right? So when the breath, which is the command to the brain, is not working properly, of course, the brain is also not going to function properly. And then again, there are a lot of reasons which are also, I would say, spiritual, related to the spiritual body that we all have, but I won't go much into the detail of that. My focus here is to explain about breath and the relationship with autoimmune condition. So as the breath starts to become shallow, the inhalation and exhalation start to get shallow. It affects the function of the brain, and then it affects the function of all the systems in the body. Okay. So breath is one of the very important reasons in developing autoimmune illness and then worsening of it. Now, how Maypadam helps with that? See, in the case of Maypadam, as most of you know, or in case if you don't know, we do all these simple looking movements 108 times. Okay, very simple movements, but you have to keep doing each movement 108 times, at least 108 times, or sometimes even more, right? So when you have to do so many repetitions of the movement, it's not possible to keep doing it in a sustainable way unless you are taking in more breath. So someone suffering with an autoimmune condition, once they start practicing Meipadam, at least during the class, they start to get into this habit of inhaling more, taking full breath. Okay. And when it comes to exhalation, the nature of Meipadam is such that there is a lot of rotation, there is a lot of twisting of the body, turning of the body, which helps, which kind of forces the lungs to fully exhale. Okay, so and that's why Meipadam and Karlakattai helps you to develop rotational mobility, rotational strength, the capability for rotational strength. So all these turning movements that involve turning, which is most of the Meipadam movements, rotating, twisting, turning, help the body to squeeze out that breath, to exhale more. And that's how the whole structure of the whole pattern of Maypadam, as I explained, uh, rewires your brain to take fuller breath, because you have to do so many repetitions, 108 or more. And then because of these rotating and twisting, turning kind of movements, your body gets into the habit of exhaling fully, exhaling more, exhaling properly. Okay, so yeah, that's how Maypadam helps with reducing the symptoms of autoimmune condition. And in fact, I have students suffering from autoimmune diseases who have told me that Maypadam has proven to be probably the fastest working remedy for them in terms of, especially in terms of bringing down their pain, right? And once the autoimmune condition sets in, and if you're not doing anything about it, then because of the constant intense pain and fatigue, also again your breath keeps getting worse, it keeps deteriorating more, which leads to body functions deteriorating, right? So it becomes a vicious cycle. Your breath is deteriorating, which is ending up in body functions deteriorating. Again, that's fueling into deteriorating breath, right? So that's why breath plays such an important role. Breath helps to stop this disintegration of body, which happens when anyone is suffering from autoimmune diseases, right? Because your body has started destroying itself, like immune system is attacking the body's own tissue, right? So that's why Maypadam practice looks so deceptively simple, but still it's so effective in reducing the pain of autoimmune diseases and bringing down or reversing the symptoms. So if you know anyone who's suffering from autoimmune illness, you can share this with them. And right now we'll just do a very simple 30-minute class, which is very good for anyone suffering from intense pain, or even the pain because of chronic diseases, right? So let's do. It's a very simple class. It's just going to take 30 minutes and very simple movements. Anyone can do this. And if you know anyone who's suffering from such symptoms, do share this class with them. It will really help them. But as I always keep saying, that the actual results come when you start doing this, when you start taking these steps in a more consistent way, right? So yeah, just give me a couple of seconds. Let me adjust my camera and we can start the class. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to write your questions here, or you can even send me a DM, right? You can message me. Okay. So let me just adjust my screen. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So let's get ready for class. Hmm. So the whole class, so to today's class, we are going to do in standing position. Okay, so all the movements are going to be in standing position. Of course, as you know, Meipadam has movements in all positions like sitting position, lying down on back, lying down on stomach, sitting in Vajrasan, sitting in cross leg position, different kinds of sitting positions. But today's class, we are going to keep it simple and we will do it in standing position. Okay. So the instruction for class is keep your breathing natural. Okay, just go at your keep your own pace of breath, whatever that is, but just be aware that you're taking full breaths, like a good, nice inhalation, good, nice exhalation. Okay, so yeah, I hope everyone can see me fully. Let me adjust a little bit more and we will start the class. Okay, so as usual, starting with salutation. Arms up, left foot in front. If you can't sit down, you can just stand here. But if you can sit down, right knee on the floor. Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva. Touch the ground 3 times. Okay, so simply swing your arm like this. Start from shoulder level, come back to shoulder level. Turn your shoulder, turn your shoulder. Okay, relax. Let's do next movement. Keep your hands together like this. Okay? Take your hands behind your head and swing them. Okay, relax. Next movement. Slightly wider stance. We are going to do a very gentle stretching. So make sure that your shoulders are down, relaxed, arms down, relaxed. Arms have to be very relaxed, very loose. So the arms are moving because your torso is turning. You're not really consciously moving your arms. Okay. As I said before, stick to your natural breath. Okay, relax. I hope you can see my feet. Next movement is going to be with feet. So what we are going to do is we are going to curl the toes like this. Okay, curl the toes, fingers of your feet. Okay, so curl your toes, relax. Curl your toes, relax. Keep doing it repeatedly. My feet are visible. I can see it. Okay, so gently curl your toes and relax them. Gently curl your toes and relax them. Okay, relax. Now, hands behind your back. Take your hands behind your back and simply swing your legs like this. Keep your knees straight, back straight. Keep your gaze at eye level. Keep your focus on your body, on your breath. Bring your focus, bring your attention, bring your awareness to yourself, to your body, to your breath. Oh, okay, relax. Let's do some more arm swings. Okay. So keep your arms very soft, loose, body soft. Okay. And swing your arms like this. I'm adding one more task to this. So you're going to turn your body while doing this. Turn to the side, come back slowly, turn to the other side, come back, again, turn to the side, come back to center, turn to the other side, come back to center. So keep your toes facing in front, okay? We are not going to move the feet. We are just going to move the torso. Okay, relax, relax, relax. Okay, next movement. Very simple movement. For this, we are going to stand in a slightly wider stance. Again, no movement of feet, only the movement of torso. Okay, so turn, turn from side to side. And if you feel dizzy when you're turning your head like that, then just keep looking in front and still you can turn your body. Okay, relax, relax. Okay. Next movement, very simple. We'll just finish this movement and then finish the class. Okay. So stand like this. We are going to move the fingers. Okay. So make a tight fist, and then as you release, let your fingers stretch away from each other as much as possible. Okay. So tighten, release, and stretch. Tighten, release, and stretch. Okay, relax. Let's end the class with salutation. So, for closing salutation, right foot in front. As I said in the beginning, if you have too much pain, you can just do the salutation in standing position, like this, standing like this. Okay. Otherwise, left knee on the floor. Mata, Pita, Guru, Dev. Touch the ground 3 times. And after this, you're supposed to do Shavasana. So basically, just lie down on your back on a yoga mat and focus on your breath. Slow and deep breath in, slow and deep breath out. So do this for 6 to 8 minutes, and that's it. You're done. You're ready to go. So this was very basic, very simple, beginner level, simple steps of Meipadam. Okay, Meipadam can get really complex and intense for advanced practitioners. But this was just a simple class for anyone who's suffering from the pain of autoimmune condition. This will give a lot of relief. Okay. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this or message me. And also do share this video with anyone you know suffering from autoimmune condition. Relief from autoimmune condition reversal is possible. I have experienced it myself, and I have seen it, witnessed it for my students also. So it's possible, but if you put consistent efforts with the practice of Meipadam. Okay, so thank you. I'll see you soon, and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.